Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me see. Hey people, it's another Blue Log video. Uh, Today I'm going to talk about a very contentious topic. That's what position or role does Isagi play? People have been talking about this for years. There are so many different opinions on it, and it can be quite toxic. But let's get into it. So now, after this World Cup, lots of you might know, but there's a player called Bellingham. Now, something to say about him is that he can defend like a six, he runs the midfield like an eight, he creates like a 10, and he scores like a striker. Now, a lot of people would compare that to Isagi. That's what people think of Isagi. And with a layman's view, that's kind of what it looks like. They even celebrate similarly. Like, let me look. If you look, okay, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But let's be serious. Isagi's actual most obvious comparison is a guy called Thomas Muller. He coined the term called Raumdeuter or space finder. This is a playstyle that closely resembles Isagi's. Now, Isagi's own name is very similar to a guy called Inzaghi, but Inzaghi is a much different style of player to Isagi. Now, we must remember that all three of these people are different to Isagi. They're all real life. Isagi is fictional, and we must judge him based on what he's actually done. Now, the burning question, is Isagi a midfielder or is he a striker? This is the problem that gets me so pissed. Striker is a position. Midfielder is not a position. I don't know who the fuck told you guys that midfielder is a position. There are so many midfield positions. In fact, let's go over a few, like right now. Now, is Isagi or a holding midfielder? Is his job to go around pressing? Is it to win the ball? Is it to stop the opposition from attacking and to distribute like Nico or like Raichi even? Is he a first phase player? Does he dictate the tempo? Does he control the game? It might look like it. It's what the manga says. But really it's Karasu that does that. And he doesn't do it from deep. He does it in front. He's an attacking player. So no, he's not. Now some people describe him as a number 10. They think he's a creative playmaker. Others feel that he's incredibly active in the midfield. Now, these conclusions are technically correct, kind of, sort of, ish, but they don't speak to Isagi's preferred role in whatever team he's playing. If you ask me, he's treated more like a creative central midfielder by the plot, with a propensity to be a super offensive 8. But that's not what Bullock is about, come on now. Bullock is about creating the world's greatest striker. With that in mind, let's move forward. Now, in actual matches, Isagi has featured really in only two positions, as a right winger and as a one of two strikers. In the first and second selection, he was kind of moving about, but in the official games he's played against the U20 and in the NAL, he's only featured as a right winger or second striker. So that's what we're working with. Now, I want you guys to look at this. You see these two guys? This is Nicolas Anelka and this is Didier Drogba. They both played for Chelsea. You see now, both of these guys are strikers, but whenever they played together, only this guy, Drogba, was a striker, and Anelka would play right wing. See, what happens is that they would get the advantages of playing two strikers, but in a one striker system. It is very similar to this right here, this system. Why is Isagi being played as a right winger? Well, it is because Kaiser and Konigami are already here. They want Isagi to play, but he can't take the position of Konigami. As soon as Isagi got to start over Konigami, he began to play in his preferred role here. If you noticed, whenever Isagi was out wide, all he did was link up with Kuruna here, fucking legend, and drift inside. This showed that he's not a winger. He's not a right winger. And because he lacks curling and finesse shots, he's not a left winger either. Now that we've gotten rid of the midfield and wing positions, that leaves only two positions left. Now, the attacking midfielder, or the number 10. This, I would say this is the most popular position in football because it's historically produces maestros. Zidane, Kaká, Maradona, you name it. There's so many kinds of attacking midfielders. In order to narrow it down, we have to examine what Isagi actually does. Now, do I think Isagi is a cam? No. I'll give my reasons later. Whoever said Isagi was a cam, yeah.
He was whipping up shit in a kettle, boiling shit.
Actual shit,
He was boiling poo in a kettle, bro. The smell, Mike's the
he was
smell
boiling shit.
in a kettle, bro.
You see, Isagi's work rate is commendable. His short range and medium range passing is good, but his long range passing and distribution is non existent. His ability on the ball is alright at best. He's not a pure creator like Charles, Say, or Hiyori, and he really can't dribble like Bachira, another goat. See, of course, Isagi could play 10 if there were no pure creators in the team, or he played as a second striker in the cam position with a bigger focus on, doing what he does, scoring goals instead of creating. Or 3, he fucking just gives up on his goal, which will never happen because it's a shonen manga. So, let's please stop wasting your time and get to the question you really want to hear. Is Isagi Yoichi a striker? Yes, of course he is. But there's a bit of a caveat to it. You see, Isagi doesn't really have pace or power, so he can't trouble defenses like Baru or Kunigami. He's not big and strong, so he can't be a target man like Nagi. He analyzes the best place to go for a goal, but he doesn't have the widest range to finish because he lacks technique, acrobatics, and power. So he can't be a fox in the box like this fucking demon over here, and he can't be a little shooter like the greatest bench player of all time, Win. He's not an aerial threat, and he can't shoot from distance. His finishing is lethal. He can score with both feet, which is crucial for a striker. But he simply has too many shortcomings to be a lone number 9 in any competent team. And I propose an idea, which is not original, you've probably heard it before, but I believe his ideal position / role is a shadow striker. Now, a shadow striker is an attacking midfielder who plays behind the main centre forward, arriving late into the penalty box to score goals, or blending playmaking with stealthy off-the-ball movement. Do I need to continue? Doesn't that sound exactly like Isagi? Alright, so I'll go on. Famous examples, you can see Thomas Muller over here. He perfected the role by reading the space between defense and midfield. You have Kaká with explosive pace. Dele Alli, he thrived at Tottenham by arriving late with unmarked runs to the box to finish chances. When Rooney over here would partner with a more powerful striker to score goals, and Griezmann played this role for his national team and his club side. Now, the core traits of a shadow striker are late runs, off-the-ball IQ, and direct scoring focus. Again, that sounds exactly like Isagi. That fits Isagi's MO to a T. I don't think there's any other position in football that would fit Isagi better. So, yeah, I believe the role is perfect for him. It minimizes his shortcomings and it maximizes his weapons. His weapons being IQ, adaptability, and his goal threat. And honestly, that's it, That's all I have for you guys today. I really hope I contributed to the conversation of what Isagi's role is. And I hope the video isn't too long. I'll wait a bit for the England game to go on to give some of my thoughts on the game. One chapter isn't enough. But yeah, until then, bye bye.